Ideally situated at the hub of the Boston-Washington megalopolis, many major state and interstate highways cross Cherry Hill. Interchange number 4 of the New Jersey Turnpike is only 5 minutes' drive from the center of the township. Toll-free Route 295 has 2 interchanges within Cherry Hill and provides high-speed access to nearby cities where residents not only enjoy business opportunities, but cultural and historical advantages as well. As Cherry Hill became an increasingly desirable place to live, more and more people and families streamed into the area, and soon housing developments and high-rise apartment buildings began to dot the skyline. Houses of worship of all denominations now accommodate residents of all faiths. Small neighborhood shopping centers, as well as one of the country's outstanding shopping malls, keeps the area well supplied with goods and services. While the Cherry Hill Hospital meets the medical needs of the community, the architecturally beautiful Cherry Hill Library attends to the citizens' literary thirsts. Business and industry have also taken advantage of the fine highway systems that cross Cherry Hill, as well as its close. This rapidly growing industrial center is bringing in new jobs and is utilizing land that might have remained untouched. With this tremendous growth of new communities and the major trend toward suburban living, Cherry Hill became an aesthetically pleasing environment in which young children came the vast challenge of education. Not only teaching the 3 R's, but preparing these children to meet their own challenge in a swiftly moving, ever-changing world. To keep up with these changes, new schools had to be built, and the civic-minded citizens of Cherry Hill established the community identity that, with long-range planning, met the challenge by creating a school system that is giving their children the quality education the world of today demands, and at the same time gives a sense of pride in being part of the Cherry Hill schools to any young man or woman. Today's student is a product of tailored education, where specific needs are met with specific instructions. In the past, students were mass-produced on an assembly line, but today's youngster is an individual in a learning laboratory which starts in kindergarten and continues on a pattern of logical response that lasts throughout his existence on Earth. The Cherry Hill Public School curriculum is based on learning by understanding through exploration and discovery by the student. Creativity is encouraged. The curriculum and the method of instruction is constantly being updated and revised by committees of teachers and principals, and is based on workshops which familiarize school personnel with current research, reports, and studies. Nowhere in the Cherry Hill Public Schools has the revision and updating and instruction been more dramatically evident than in the science program.
We are more concerned with the pupil's understanding, his doing, his being able to interpret what he has accomplished.
Using modern methods and equipment, skillful instructors encourage students through the grades in logical thinking and independent study that is so essential to success in today's world.
In elementary schools now, they are teaching nature science, letting the children not only ask questions, but perhaps answer their own questions.
In the area of social studies, instructors and administrators have been concerned primarily with breaking the lockstep of the past. Rote memorization of dates and places is being discarded. The use of audio-visual equipment and multi-texts is stressed.
We spend more time being concerned with ideas, themes, trends, and concepts rather than rote memorization of a series of dates, facts, figures. That the student, if he learns a technique for analysis and learns a concept or a trend, will be better able to apply it in subsequent years and courses and hopefully to his own life. We're much more concerned with a pattern of thinking, that he's trained how to think than that he's trained how to memorize. Computers can do that very well. Human beings can think.
The past is used as a tool to make the student more aware of present and future events in a constantly changing world. The teaching of foreign language has undergone revolutionary changes with the inception of the language laboratory, where an instructor is able to monitor students' work and encourage independent study without disturbing the entire class.
Some of these tapes are made by native speakers, and this is another advantage of the language lab, to be able to hear the language spoken by actual native speakers.
With the Russian orbiting of Sputnik in 1957, the entire educational mathematics program in the United States underwent a critical analysis. Drastic revisions were made in course content and instruction. Cherry Hill kept pace with these changes in the elementary schools, where youthful students are given a solid mathematical background far in advance of the primer courses of the past, in order to be prepared for the geometry, trigonometry, calculus, and analysis of the space age. Team teaching is one of the new methods used in many language arts classes. The spectacular growth of this type of instruction exposes more students to a variety of teachers and experiences, and teaches the art of communication in an infinite number of ways.
By having team teaching, we are able to use and to utilize the strengths of every individual teacher. Also, it's to the advantage of the student in that he is evaluated, helped, motivated by a team of 4 teachers rather than just one. And I think this exposure to different methods and procedures definitely helps the student.
Small group instruction, another new teaching method in language arts, benefits students in allowing them a more diversified program in learning experience and gives the teacher more time to work with individual children. For students with reading problems, there are small remedial classes and special teachers utilizing the most modern equipment and methods.
If this child doesn't learn to read and he doesn't learn to write, he isn't going to be able to function in a history class or any other class.
Stronger emphasis has all the humanities, with courses in speech and drama being offered to interested students.
What we have to consider is that there is a unifying factor in language arts instruction. And if you're going to have a unifying element within a program, then there's a tremendous amount of work involved pulling all of that together.
Young people who are interested in careers in business and industry are well prepared in office occupation courses. In shops, sophisticated modern equipment and highly trained instructors give students the experience needed to take their place in the mechanized world. Students developed in these specialized classes use their vocational skills to gain jobs and earning power. A fine distributive education program teaches students to merchandise products and sell in a half-day work experience environment. Home economics is just what the name implies, teaching the young ladies of Cherry Hill the basic arts of homemaking, the planning and preparing of meals in a nutritious, tasteful manner. Household management is also taught, along with the construction of clothing from patterns and materials. Skills in music and art are taught and encouraged from the elementary schools up through the secondary level. Creative instructors lead students in creative experience.
The whole art department seems to be a stronghold for creative expression. There has to be some sort of balance between the learning situation related to self-expression and self-expression itself, and there has to be a nice recognition of where training begins and where training ends, you know, so that you can enhance what is there.
Research has shown that more leisure time for recreation is available to the average American. Cherry Hill's physical education program has kept pace with this current trend by teaching students skills in recreational activities.
A healthy person and a healthy body is invaluable. You just can't buy it. And the only way you can hope to have one is to learn how to take care of yourself. And we hope to, in our small way, have a part in this.
Training takes place throughout the student's school life, and each youngster is encouraged to develop to his or her full physical potential. Developmental physical education courses directed by licensed physical therapists are available to students of any age with physical problems. For students with mental as well as physical problems, special education classes are conducted by highly trained personnel. Cherry Hill's school libraries are well-lighted, well-stocked reading and study rooms. Even at the elementary level, students are encouraged to read by a group of specially trained librarians, assisted in many of the schools by helpful PTA volunteers. The development of each student as an individual is the prime purpose of the guidance program in the Cherry Hill Public Schools. Continuous counseling helps students evaluate their own interests and abilities and seek realistic goals while becoming more mature in making their own decisions as to a career or college.
Our main purpose in guidance is to bring each individual along to fulfill his potential. The first thing we do is to bring him along so that he can achieve his purposes and goals and help assist him in finding himself and getting the direction which he would need in future life.
Mature counselors are responsible for individual counseling and testing, along with many other functions that complement classroom activity. Co-curricular activities are in great abundance throughout the school system. Many students participate in all sports on an interscholastic level. Supporting activities such as cheerleading, majorettes, and band attract another large group of participants. Those with literary interests populate yearbook and newspaper staffs. Budding politicians find the student council and student government the place to be. Aspiring actors and actresses take advantage of a fine dramatics program offered as an after-school activity. And young voices fill an empty auditorium as a high school chorus rehearses its program. Many Cherry Hill residents avail themselves of the fine school facilities in their neighborhoods. School principals are always willing to lend a helping hand to community organizations and projects. The Cherry Hill Adult School offers a diversified selection of courses that enlighten and enrich not only the residents of our community, but others as well. The Cherry Hill public school system, fast-growing, progressive, well-planned, lauded in educational circles and by educators throughout the country. But what has made this school system what it is? Let us take a look behind the scenes at the people who have taken on the monumental task of the education of Cherry Hill's children. A far-seeing and dedicated group of men and women, the Cherry Hill Board of Education sets the guidelines and board policy which are carried out by the superintendent and other administrators. Within the school district, building principals, well qualified to deal with any problems that arise within the school day, operate as an efficient team of administrators in their respective schools. The teacher is the key to the learning experience, and nowhere is this more evident than in Cherry Hill's classrooms.
There's an old saying that the art of teaching is not in the telling, it's in the pulling. And it's there, and it's our job to help bring it out.
Well-prepared, state-certified instructors provide a learning experience for the young people of the township.
To follow one's professional line of training, he has to be constantly updating himself. And you can't just be static and rely on what you got in college 10 or 15 years ago.
Hours are spent on after-school meetings, extra help and preparation for classroom activities.
All of this takes time, and I'm not certain that everybody appreciates just how much time that does take in the course of a day.
Two of the major functions of the school nurse, aside from the time-honored administering of first aid, are health education and our health appraisal program.
The benefits of our appraisal program, whether it's vision testing or audiometric testing, is that the earlier any defects are found, the better it is for the child, because this can affect him emotionally. It affects him with his classwork. It affects him in his relationship with his family and his peer group.
All school nurses are registered nurses, and they are qualified to teach health and first aid in the classroom. School maintenance is a never-ending job and is governed by three goals. First is the health and safety of the children. Secondly, the protection of the community's real property and building investment. And last is the support of the educational program, which requires adequate supplies and facilities used in the instructional process. School buses are cleaned and serviced inside and out every day by drivers and service personnel. Large numbers of buses are needed to transport the township's children to and from school safely and efficiently. In the secondary school cafeterias, a dietitian plans nutritious and appetizing menus. These nonprofit lunches are served in clean, well-lit lunchrooms and are based on the federal School A lunch program.
You need a combination of experiences in order to ensure learning. These experiences would not only be audio or verbal experiences, but they would have to be visual experiences too. To see and hear at the same time is to project yourself into a situation and thereby ensure that the message is being received and understood by the learner or receiver.
Even though each school has its own individual audio-visual equipment, an instructional materials center at the administration building is used for the production and storage of audio-visual materials for the entire school system. Also at the administration building, the Electronic Data Processing Center has taken over many time-consuming operations, such as the writing of student report cards, employee contracts, and paychecks, and all the financial activities of the Cherry Hill Public Schools. The Cherry Hill Public School System is one of South Jersey's largest, and without question, its fastest growing. We have seen how our township has met the challenge of this growth by keeping pace with modern quality education. You have seen some of the people responsible for meeting this formidable challenge for the education of these, your children. But there is one other person who must share the credit, for it is you, the citizens of the Cherry Hill School District, who must ultimately bear the responsibilities of the quality of public education and create from today's student tomorrow's citizen.